Hey Zoomers, welcome back to World Zoom. So happy you could join me again today. Always appreciated. Thanks for your support. I asked for a bunch of new subscribers and as usual, you guys came through. Got pretty close to the old razor today up at Meyer, getting a haircut at Great Clips. So every time I do it, it's wider and wider. I don't know. It's tough getting old. Hey, today's topic was going to be, and it's a welcome relief, I think, for what's going on here in the U.S., and that is that the Philippines continues to remain cheap. We have seen some increase in, some prices, some commodities, and certainly when you go to the grocery store, some other things in the Philippines, but we haven't seen the kind of inflation or price increases that you're seeing in Europe or in Canada or the US, thank goodness. So it still makes the Philippines, I think, one of the top options for overall retirement for individuals, especially considering Southeast Asia or the region. There's been some price increases in Vietnam. We saw some increases in Thailand that has since eased off. And a lot of that has to do with just, no visitors, right? They had their battles with Cambodia. They had a coup again with their prime minister, and she's ousted. Their old prime minister is now getting ready to serve a year in jail, and that end effect has been that prices have remained steady and gone down. Laos and Cambodia, as always, are truly remarkably cheap across the board. But just an example, let's go back to my old stomping grounds, still my favorite or close to it place in the Philippines, and that's Dumaguete. I still have a lot of friends there and can find some things out. So if you have something you need or want to know specifically about Duma or Valencia or Darwin, Tanhai, please just let me know. I'll try and find out and give you that information. Of course, Sheila is from right there, so it's pretty easy for me to find this information. So let's talk about some housing options from there. That Dumaguete Studio Apartments. I live there. A lot of my friends have lived there and live there now. Run by Dave, an old crusty merchant marine guy that's got to be close to 90 now, and his wife, who's a Filipina, Marissa. Here's some photos of Dave's Dumaguete Studio Apartments. I don't know how you could get a much better place in all of the Philippines than something like that. Now, you may complain about, I'm not a studio guy. It was really my first studio. I don't like, excuse me, I don't like my bed being close or around the kitchen area when I prepare, and then I can still smell that in the bedroom area. But that's got a door on the front, a door on the back that overlooks the awesome lap swimming pool. So you get the views, you get security. Dave has a whole fleet of motorbikes that are available for rent. There's a whole host of different expats that are there. There's a lady that'll cook meals for you, do your laundry, and it's all for, $350, somewhere in that range. So you get the security, you get a really nice place, a decent amount of square footage. There's a lot of amenities. It's up in Candai, which is if you're taking the road from Dumaguete up to Valencia. So it's like halfway up that road, called Dumaguete Studio Apartments. So I always recommend that place. I just happened upon it when I was on a bike and rented a bike. It was going really just up the hill. I was looking for Valencia and got about halfway there and saw this place. A big white wall is around it, so you cannot see anything. You have no idea what's behind that wall and that gate. But even then, it's just, it's pretty cool. It really is a pretty cool place. So would recommend that. There's another, I don't know if you've are used or have ever used Dot Properties. I like to look at their webpage, DOT, right? Dot Properties. They then give you a code for each one of the properties that they have. They're all over. It's everywhere in the Philippines, but they all have a lot of listings in Dumaguete. So if you happen to be looking for a condo in Marina Especial, or a home, or a condo-tel, or something a little bit off the beaten path going towards Tan High or more up and out. It really is a good place to find a whole host of different listings in a varied price amount as well. But they have Marina Especial has always been known for being fairly poor construction, and also fairly expensive and not very big. That's some bad combinations, I think. But at the same time, I've seen the price continue to go down and down and down and down, because it is in a great area. As far as areas go, it's about as good as you can get for Dumaguete. It's right, oceanfront, right on the water, right there. You can come a couple blocks south and you're just, you're right in all of it. So it is a pretty cool place. They also have 2 bedrooms. It's weird because you walk in, there's a bedroom here, a bedroom there in your living area. That's it. There's absolutely nothing else. So that 2-bedroom is only 32 square meters. So it's, 300 square feet, which is tiny for a 2-bedroom, but it's now less than $500 for a 2-bedroom there. So if you're just looking to come in someplace just to get there, you have a view of the ocean or the basketball courts or the swimming pool or the mountains. If you're on the backside, sort of you choose, but those are there, 2-bedroom, 1-bath. They have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. A couple pictures will be included here as well. $450, furnished. And it's a house, where are you going to go in the world and find a decent square footage, single family home that's completely furnished? Now, is it furnished to Western standards? Some can be. This one specifically is not. It's more of a Filipino style with the heavy woodwork, and you may want to change that up or have them take some of that furniture out and put some of yours in. But if you're just looking for turnkey for walking in, that's a good combination. And that one is 013-2025. So they have the year at the end. So really, you just would need to remember the 013, and that's the dot property. So whether you look online or give them a call, that's sort of the code that they use. The next one is a 3-bedroom, 3-bath house. That's 026-2025. About 28,000 pesos, so $550. The other one was 2.2 and furnished. This is 3.3 house. It also is furnished. So if you begin to think back, a couple years ago, Dumaguete specifically was really filling up. The inventory got really tight and the prices started to escalate accordingly. Now, for whatever reason, and that could certainly be a whole nother video, there are less folks that are coming to the Philippines in general and to Dumaguete specifically. So that helps in a lot of aspects, less traffic, better ability to be able to get around, and better properties for you to rent or to purchase. I've always been okay with Airbnb. I would just highly recommend you not to come to Dumaguete or anywhere in the Philippines or anywhere and get an Airbnb for a month or more at a time. Especially in the Philippines, you just don't know what you're getting. People that are professional photographers can make a small unit look large and can make something crummy look pretty good. You simply don't know whether there's a pack of roosters next door, and they are highly irritating, or dogs, which are even worse because they're just so random when they bark. Or are you out of traffic? I happened to stay one time, not in Dumaguete, another place in the Philippines, which was perfect, right on a corner. What I didn't realize is that all the autos coming together, it didn't have any stop signs like a lot of places. So they would greet or announce themselves with a honk of the horn. So all day, all night, there was honk, 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 honk coming from 4 different directions. What was otherwise a fantastic place, you start to realize quickly why no one's there, no one's renting it, because someone is honking 24/7. That's good to find out when you only got a week out of pocket, right? You buy a fan and some earplugs and get the heck out of there. So parties, if you happen to get in a Filipino area, the parties can not be like a one-night affair here in the U.S. They can last for 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, depending on the occasion. So if you get beside one of the party houses, you could have a really long month if you're staying there. So you could be far from an area, you really don't know, maybe there's no transportation for you and you're not comfortable on a motorbike yet, or you could just be in a shitty, crappy area that you just don't want to be in. So come in, get the Airbnb, perhaps for just 7 days. I just plugged in October 1st to the 8th. The range was somewhere around $220 for the week. Down to 129, but there's like 100 listings in Dumaguete alone. So if you get on Airbnb, you plug in whatever dates you're going to come, or whatever maybe you're going to arrive at the airport on the 1st, right? But you're going to stay for a long time. Maybe you just do a week to get your legs underneath you, to find out where you want to do permanently, meet a realtor in person, have them take you around, find the area that's comfortable for you. You're not locked into it. You got $200 out of pocket. Right? And these are pretty nice places. You can see even if you get the $129 one that I stay, it's still a 1-bedroom, 1-bath furnished apartment on like the 2nd floor, more in the downtown type of area. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that apartment, and you're out $129 while you look around. So sometimes these Airbnbs, they can be available long term, but perhaps they're not what you would want to spend. If someone's being successful renting for $200 a week, for example, on Airbnb, probably not real likely they're going to go from $800 monthly and maybe rent it to you for $450 or $500. So it could be one of those scenarios where you're just finding a great place in an area, spending a little bit on your upfront week, and then off you go while you search and find some of the areas. So just an example. Really happy to see the Philippines are still economical and reasonable for the people that are there. A lot of new people in that area, so highly recommended. So anyway, from World Zoom, I appreciate you guys, and I'll talk with you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.